So as the results rolled in New Hampshire, we got three major announcements. Three 2020 candidates would be suspending their campaigns. We learned that Michael Bennet would be dropping out of the race. I guess that the James Carville endorsement didn't help him. Shocker. And reportedly, Deval Patrick will announce that he's ending his campaign tomorrow. Now, the biggest one, and the only one that I actually care about and feel sad about, is that Andrew Yang announced that he is suspending his campaign. Now, it was a little bit shocking to me, or a lot shocking, I should say, because the results only started to roll in. I think we were at 8 to 10% of precincts reporting in New Hampshire, and he announced that he was ending his campaign. So I think he probably was ready for this and just wanted to see if he would perform well, and he ended it. And out of all of the candidates who I don't support, Andrew Yang is probably the one that I'm the most sympathetic towards, because he was genuine, he was authentic. He was an anti-establishment candidate, and he's just a nice guy. He'll always have a special place in my heart, because he's one of the only candidates, besides Mike Gravel, that actually came on my show. So just for personal narcissistic reasons, that's why, Andrew Yang will always hold a special place in my heart. And even if I disagree with him vehemently on certain policies, he did bring a lot of ideas to the table. Drug decriminalization, voting at 16. He brought a lot of policies that I genuinely support. And even though I don't support his implementation of UBI, I think that just the fact that he got us talking about this and automation in and of itself is incredibly valuable. So, what he brought to this campaign, it really was a breath of fresh air, and it was nice to see Andrew Yang back at that debate after hearing from all of these corporate stooges again. He really will be missed, and I say this as a Bernie Sanders supporter. Now, I have a message to all of the Yang gang. Now, first and foremost, let me just say that this is a message to you, not as a Bernie supporter, but as a human being, because I know that currently you're probably really irritated because a lot of Bernie supporters are jumping down your throats to try to get you to, jump on the Bernie bandwagon. But this is just me saying to you as a human being what I'm going to tell you, because I feel like I've been in a similar situation. And look, I genuinely hope that you jump on board and we can team up and take on the establishment together, and that you support Bernie Sanders. But, I've seen kind of split results here. Some people on Twitter say they're going to support Bernie who were Yang supporters. Others say, nope, I'm never supporting Bernie. And I don't really know overall where Yang's base of support will go when it's all said and done, because Yang brought a lot of new people into the process. And if those people were never mobilized before, they may just check out without Andrew Yang. So understand that I'm not telling you this to be patronizing, but I just want to, because I care about Andrew Yang as a person and a candidate, I want to explain to you my position, because I was in a similar position. All of Bernie supporters in 2016 were in a similar position where Bernie Sanders dropped out. And I don't remember Bernie Sanders officially dropping out. I may be misremembering it. But we basically found out that Bernie ended his campaign when he endorsed Hillary Clinton. So it was like a double gut punch, right? He dropped out and endorsed this person who just rigged the process against him. And it hurt really, really bad. So just as human beings, I truly, empathize with you, because I've been in that predicament before. And a lot of Yang supporters are probably former Bernie supporters. So you may already know. And this is 2 times in a row you're having to deal with this. But if you haven't been there before, as a Bernie supporter, let me just tell you this. I never thought that Bernie Sanders would run for president again. When he was done in 2016, I thought, it's over. We're never going to get a Bernie presidency. And it almost sent me into a depression. I was genuinely depressed for days. And it was hard to get out of that. Because when you believe in a candidate so much, you kind of stake your hopes and dreams on that individual. So when that candidate's campaign is over, everything that you kind of hoped for and dreamed about just comes crashing down. And there's this giant hole that you don't know how to fill after that, right? So I totally understand where you are. But 4 years later, Bernie is running again. So as a Bernie supporter, what I say to the Yang supporters is that, look, Andrew Yang is very young, a lot younger than Bernie Sanders. So if we get a second chance at Bernie, I can assure you, you will get a second chance at electing Andrew Yang. I assure you, he's not going anywhere. He's young, And he built up a movement, and he can harness that in any way he wants to. Will he run again? Possibly. Could he win next time? It's very, very possible. Will he choose to run for the Senate or harness that energy in some other way? Yes. But what I want you to know is that he's not going anywhere. So everything that was built by the Yang Gang and with Andrew Yang, that's not just going to perish. It's not just going to dissipate and evaporate into thin air. Like, all of Bernie's support and enthusiasm, it reemerged in 2019 when he announced that he's running again. So I have no doubt that the same can be true for Andrew Yang. And again, let me stress, I'm not doing this to be patronizing and to try to butter you up to jump on board the Bernie bandwagon. Again, you're welcome. We would love to have you, but I know that realistically speaking, these primaries get dirty and a lot of people just aren't going to support Bernie Sanders. But just from a human perspective, understand that this isn't over for your candidate. And what Andrew Yang managed to accomplish with regard to elevating UBI, that's going to remain in political discourse. I mean, think about this. We were debating a federal jobs guarantee versus universal basic income on a national debate stage, and that's because of Andrew Yang and Bernie Sanders. So both of our candidates we really influenced the discourse, and Andrew Yang wouldn't have been able to get that far without all of the momentum. Now, again, I disagree with him on a lot of policy positions. However, do I believe that Andrew Yang, unlike a lot of these people like Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, genuinely wants to fix America? Yes, I absolutely believe that, and you can't even doubt for a second that his supporters, weren't also committed and authentic, and they just genuinely want to fix the country. So I absolutely respect that. Contrast that with Mayor Pete's supporters. Who supports him? Do you genuinely believe that there's this urgency to fix America if you're a Pete supporter? I can't imagine it. I just can't. A Biden supporter? A Klobuchar supporter? No. I mean, you can say the same for Elizabeth Warren. I think that her supporters actually do want to fix the country, even though she's gone down quite a bit in my book, needless to say. But I mean, Andrew Yang's support base, they genuinely cared. And we disagree with each other, but that's okay. We have a goal to fix America. We just have different ways of implementing solutions, and I am committed to my vision because I believe that this is the correct route to take, but you guys have your own, and you have the best intentions, and that's what you really have to respect. These primaries get super ugly, super, super ugly and toxic sometimes, and, there are some instances where you just want to step back and take a little bit of a break because mentally this really takes a toll on you. So, my message ultimately in closing to the Yang Gang is take time. If you need to, don't look at politics, take a week or so off, play some video games, because this shit is tough. We're human beings, and during election season we kind of try to transform ourselves into machines, and we go and we go and we go, and it's all just automatic. We don't stop to think, I'm a human being. I need to maybe just take a break and play some basketball or do something, walk my dog. We don't take the time for self-care, and that is super important. So look, nothing but love and solidarity to Yang Gang. I know that not all of them will jump on board the Bernie bandwagon, and that's fine. Whatever your decision is, I respect it. I honestly do, and I mean that, because what I saw with Andrew Yang was passion. People loved Andrew Yang, and I understand why. As someone who wasn't an Andrew Yang supporter, I get it. So I actually genuinely do feel bad about Andrew Yang. But when it comes to Michael Bennet and Deval Patrick and their combined 5 supporters, they can all eat shit and die. But the Yang Gang, we're cool. I fuck with you. And I'll leave that there.
I think I read an article recently that Andrew Yang was kind of dragging Asian Americans back to the left. But I don't know. Remains to be seen. He just dropped out, so.
Yeah, now that he's out, I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, I was bummed about that. He was my guy.
He has some really interesting ideas, and he's so open-minded. His perspectives are so uniquely non-politician-like.
Yeah. And how refreshing to finally have somebody who's scientifically and technologically literate,
yes,
in government.
Yes.
That was really my big attraction to him. I know it was the basic bitch intellectual dark web choice. Either him or Tulsi was. But
Basic
I
bitch,
really,
intellectual
really,
choice.
but I really, really liked him.
Yeah, this whole thing is so strange. It looks like they're trying to fuck Bernie over again, just like they did in 2016. They're just that we watched that coin flip over and over again yesterday.
Yeah.
From Iowa, we're like, arrest that kid, put him in jail. That was an illegal coin flip. That was a terrible coin flip. The whole thing is just so weird. It's just seeing it play out and seeing it play out so transparently with so many different...
Some of the conspiracies are like about, because now they're kind of like pitting Mayor Pete against Bernie, right?
Well,
and they're
he's
like,
doing it. He's talking shit about Bernie,
he is too.
and he got booed.
Yesterday, right?
And then
in New
Bernie
Hampshire.
was talking about how so many billionaires donate to Mayor Pete.
That was pretty good, Bernie.
It's not that good. Andrew Yang, 2020 dropout, fuel speculation on NYC.
Oh, I would be so happy.
Oh,
if he did
mayor
that.
of NYC. Holy
Wow.
shit. He could do that. He could win that. Fuck yeah.
Actually, he would.
How is Mayor Pete? Is he still a mayor?
Yeah, he is.
How do you do that?
That's a bit of a complaint among
That
his
should be a
constituents.
giant complaint.
Yeah.
Did he do a great job as a mayor? I mean, he's like did he clean up all the problems of that city? Doesn't
He's
seem like
done
he
enough
has.
to make people notice,
Yeah.
but I think the African American community is not happy about some issues that
He talks really
How he
well, and he's handsome, and he's a veteran. Those are good things. They're like, fucking run him, run him, run him.
But
Get
you
him
know,
out there.
people are really raking him over the coals for apparently like his, again, he's checked all the right boxes. Harvard, McKinsey, like he's too perfect. Like he was 3D printed in the DNC's headquarters.
Yes.
So people are very concerned about that. Like it's so funny how like this whole optics and authenticity really. For me, that's why I like Andrew Yang. He was, if you hate politicians, which I generally
Right.
do, he's the least hard to hate.
Yes. He's the one. Talking to him, he's so normal. He's like a guy who runs some tech company or something. That's what he feels like when I talk to him.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, with 24-hour exposure, social media, and news cycle, this kind of signal is so obvious in a way that was never before, right? We can see normal people now.
Yes.
And we know the difference between grandstanding, posturing, and just like
Yes.
being a normal person.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
But also normal people don't want to do it. You
Yeah.
know, it's like the whole thing of it is just so invasive. And
right.
It's
It should
insane.
disqualify anybody who wanted to do it.
Exactly. But, this is the system we have. We got to do what we got to do. It's better than China, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As dirty as it is over here,
Right.
it's still better than the alternatives that we see elsewhere around the world.
Right. Exactly.
I'm hoping things just continue to get better. I'm hoping more, more people understand the mechanisms behind the scenes and how all this stuff works.